At the same time, many of you probably sit there and go, I know I'm a Christian, but why do I go through so many trials? Why is there so much pain? Why are there so many things that I can't overcome? So many things that make my life so difficult. It's to demonstrate to you, God is lovingly demonstrating to you your weakness. Not to leave you in your weakness, but so that you might run to him. And then there will be times when he will sustain you in power, and then all of a sudden, it just leaves. Why? Once again, to remind you lovingly, not in judgment, not to hurt you, but lovingly to remind you once again, you're forgetting that this life and power comes from communion with me. Everything is about communion with him. I love the 1689 Baptist Confession. I'm a Reformed Baptist. But my wisest brethren in that camp will recognize that although doctrine is essential, it's not enough. It's communion, it's fellowship, it's relationship with Christ. And all the hardship and all the pain and all the things you cannot do, it's God working weakness in your life so that you will become more and more dependent upon him. The wounds of the shepherd are wounds of love, and all of it is intended to teach you, stay by my side, stay with me. Apart from me, you cannot. You cannot. And so he takes strong men and he breaks them, and he takes wise women and put them in situations where their wisdom cannot help them any longer. You see, your problem is not that you're not strong enough. That's never the problem. The problem is always that we do not recognize how weak we are. You know, years ago, many years ago, so it was a red flag day on the beach south of Lima, and everyone is surfing. And of course, I'm going to try my hand at surfing. I was never any good at it, but I didn't know what a red flag meant. And so I go out there with my surfboard, and all of a sudden I notice that the waves are horrific. They're chopping, they're cutting across, and I'm going to be pulled to Japan. And I was very afraid. And all of a sudden I heard a noise behind me that sounded like a sea lion, and I became more afraid because they can be rather vicious. But it was a young boy on a boogie board. He was terrified. He was absolutely terrified. And I swam towards him because he looked like he was going down for the count. But when I got ready to grab his rope, I realized something. I pulled this young boy into me. He's going to kill me. Now, I was twice his size. I was a lot stronger than him. But I knew, I pull him close, he's taking me in, he's going to take me down like a wrestler. So I called about 8 other surfers, and they all ran over. It took a half an hour to get him out of the water. And everyone was afraid, even the guys who really knew what they were doing. Now, I want you to think about that for a moment. He was half my size. The kid probably couldn't bench press a milk jug. So why was I so afraid? You see, it wasn't his muscles. It wasn't even his will. It was his need. He would have grabbed a hold of me with a force that I could not pry off of me. Do you understand that? And again, it wasn't his muscle. It wasn't his sinew. It was his need. He knew that if he didn't grab a hold of something, he would die. And that's what made him so strong. And see, you see people who maybe pray a lot or they read their Bible a lot, and you know, our hearts are idolatrous, so we're always attributing that to the person, that person's will, that person's strength, their spirituality. No, at least not in my case. It's not that I have nothing but Him with regard to salvation. I have nothing but Him with regard to anything. I will apostatize. I will commit immorality. I am capable of anything. So it's not strength when you look at a man and say, oh, he prays or he fasts or he reads his Bible all the time. It's not because of some piety. It's because of a recognition of weakness. I cannot. I must read my Bible. I'm not like other men. They may be strong. I am not. I must pray. I'm not like other men. I'm not as strong as they are. I must pray. I must stay as close as I possibly can to Him. Let me give you an example. This just came to mind. It may be helpful. Have you ever wondered why there was this one case that the disciples, they couldn't cast out the demon? I mean, Jesus had given them authority over demons, and they couldn't cast out the demon. And then there's an enigmatic kind of answer. This kind comes out only by prayer. What does that mean? You need to pray more. After years of looking at that passage, I think that one of the hints to understanding what's going on is that when He gave them authority over the demonic, they had come to believe that somehow that authority was now inherent, that it was in them and did not flow from the throne through them. They became independent. We've got the power. It was given to us. It's ours. And I think that's what's going on there. You see, there are no great men of God. That is one of the most pathetic statements. Oh, he's a great man of God. There are no great men of God. There are only weak, tiny, puny, sinful, little men of a great and a merciful God. And all the trials and all the failures and everything in your life, you go, oh, the devil. No, the devil may be used, but it's God orchestrating it to teach you your need of Him, to teach you your desperate need of Him.